Hey, folks, let's Scamo here. Let's Scam. It just went white. Let's Scamo here from Scamo Outdoors. Team Daredevil. Folks, I've been promised a couple videos ago that I was going to reveal the money bait. As a former bass tournament fisherman, me and my son fished together for several years, probably 10 years. Me and him, maybe 15, and I've been doing this for 25, 30 years, a couple different partners. Um, One day, me and him was experimenting, playing around with things, and our imagination was always going, always trying to find the edge. And we come across this bait, and we called it the money bait. This I'll show it to you here in a minute, show you how to make it, where I got it from. This video will probably be longer than I really want it to be. Okay, however, there's no way around it during this presentation. I've sat on this for many years, me and my son, and we have it. I think my youngest son is the only one, maybe one grandson that I've given one of these to. We kept this from other fishermen, other anglers in our circuits. Now you can go to the store and buy something similar, uh, but I've never seen anything exactly like it. Does that matter? I don't know. I can only speak for the money bait, and I've got, and it's done us well. It treated us well, and we made a lot of money on this bait. Most of our tournaments was for the money. We fished for the competition, the love of the sport, and we fished for the money. Okay, it's just a very expensive hobby, and we did earn this one trophy, some plaque, I should say, and in 2010, that reflection's so bad. Anyway, this was from Fayette County Bassmasters at Rocky Fork Lake. We took second place out of 123 boats. That's fantastic. Okay, and my son got the biggest bass tournament, biggest bass plaque, and so he's got that. I give that to him, of course. But folks, we've fished for USA Bassing for many years, and I don't get. Let me say this: I don't get paid by anybody. Nobody endorses me. I do this because my tournament days are behind me. My wife's retired. Me and her, we fish. We go to different lakes every year, and I want to share this knowledge and share this with other anglers because, folks, whether you're a tournament fisherman or you just fish for the heck of it, keep your imagination open. Um, if just try new stuff. Don't be afraid to do something different. Uh, Mother Nature. She's a tough old girl, and sometimes you go fishing and you get nothing. But this bait here in last April, um, now providing everything ain't flooded because we've got here in Ohio the last 3 or 4 years. April was just rain, the water's up, everything's muddy, it's terrible. And we'd fish tournaments in that crap when the freezing rain, and man, it was tough. And normally the water was high, it was muddy. But occasionally you'd catch a really great opening tournament in April. But April, May, and the first part of June, this bait, we slayed the bass on it. Caught all sizes, but it was majority of it, I have to say, was a large bass bait. We caught several 5-pounders to 5.5 pound. I've never caught a 6-pound bass in Ohio. I seen one 8-pound bass weighed in at one of our tournaments one time. But I personally have never caught one over 5.5, 5.75 pound, maybe here in Ohio. Several 5-pounders, 4-pounders, three, 4, 5-pounders is a nice bass here in Ohio. Okay, but anyway, folks, most of our tournaments was money tournaments. We fished, like I said, USA Bass, and frequently finish in the top 10. And there was a lot of small tournaments. And USA Bass, and you get 50, 65 boats. The open tournaments from some of these clubs, you'd get over 100 boats, 70, 80 boats on a regular regular deal. But anyway, we got a lot of paychecks off this lure. And, so anyway, I'm going to reveal this after all the years of hiding it from other anglers. Me and my son stumbled across this, playing with different colors. A jig head. I'm primarily a shallow water fisherman. Let's say 15 foot to up in the trees and in the bushes sometimes. That's mainly my fishing, even when it's tough. I rarely ever go below 15 foot. Okay, but I'm using this jig. Okay, and today I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can, but to do what I want to do, I can't. Please stick with me. However, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel so I can get 50 subscribers so I can use my phone and go live out in the woods and, on the lake, whatever. Okay, but folks, here it is. I'm going to try to. All right, folks. I don't know how you're seeing this exactly. Now, 2 baits. the money bait, and the imposter. Okay, why the imposter? We ordered 100 jig heads from, where's my paper? I'm going to show you where I got this stuff too. I only use the heavy wire jigs. This is a 1/2 ounce football jig, and it comes from fishingskirts.com. I don't have their magazine, but folks, go to fishingskirts.com. I receive nothing from them, no endorsement, no money, no nothing. Go to fishingskirts.com and go through their website, and they have got an amazing amount of stuff. Now, also, if you want to make all different kind of lures, now one of our colors comes from barkrotackle.com. Now, this is a 2000. I'll do that. There we go. This is a 2019 order catalog. Not real thick, kind of thin. But they got all kinds of stuff to make top water baits, crankbaits, you name it. They got everything. I use both of these people to get my stuff just for this one lure. All right, let's go through it. The money bait right here. Now, this is the money bait. And I don't know. And you notice the red flakes in it. And I think what really sets it off, folks, is this color right here. Is the brown pepper. I know it's probably tough to see that. Okay, we ordered those 100 jigs, and for some reason we had to substitute. This is the imposter. This is the money bait. Pretty close, eh? This is a little different color. This is more of a cockroach color, but you can buy cockroach color from Barlow's. And this is the brown pepper that goes in the money bait. This is the Imposter. For some reason, they was out of stock or something. When we ordered that 100 jigs, we ordered some more skirts. And this is the list. From Barlow's, we ordered a 782 brown pepper. Fishing skirts, we get the green pumpkin and the green pumpkin red. It's got the red flakes in it. This is now we use the same baits. There we go. We use the same two of the same colors on the Imposter than we do the money bait. That's the red sparkle glitter, and this is just a green pumpkin. Nothing in it, just a green pumpkin. Now, does one work better than the other? Folks, I really can't tell you. You can use purple flake, red flake. It doesn't make a difference. I'm really not sure because I have made some out of a blue flake. But now here's a color chart. Oh, now scientists has done a great bunch of work. There's your colors and the depths. Bass see reds and greens better than any color. Okay, but as you can see, the different colors, when you get down to the different depths of the water, here's your depth scale. Whoop, here's your depth scale right here. Now, they see primarily in red and green colors, the scientists say. And I'm going to go with the science. Okay, but the deeper you go, the more the bait disappears. And you can see the black and blue hold up in the deepest water. Okay, now, and a lot of this depends on the water clarity and all that stuff. Okay, but folks, this is the long hidden money bait. And this is the Imposter. Okay, I personally believe they probably work about the same. The money bait, brown pepper has black specks in it. You really can't see them. But this is the jig head. A 1/2 ounce heavy wire jig. Okay, now, and I trim this weed guard off. That's it, folks. This bait right here has earned me and my son a lot of money. Has it made us a good living? No, but I'm not a big time tournament fisherman. But like I said, I've done it for years and years. Will this catch bass every time, all the time? No lure will. Okay, but I will catch bass on it practically every time I go out. Have I ever come into a weigh-in empty-handed? Yes, sir, I have. Okay, but more times than not, I've finished in the money with this bait right here. Okay, what do I tip it with? All right, here's something else, folks. I tip it with this right here. This is a Berkeley chigger crawl. All right, it's just a simple little 3-inch crawdad. And I break the little claws apart. And let's put this on the money bait. show you what this looks like. Stick with me, folks. You can go on YouTube and find all kinds of stuff doing the same thing I am. Let me get my glasses on. But I want to show you what this looks like. And this is the only way I fish. This is the only thing that I put on these money baits or the Imposter is, and you take this hook to right behind there's little eyeballs on this thing, and right behind the eyeballs, and then you just push that baby through. Green pumpkin. I always use green pumpkin too, folks. And there you have it. Come on, Claw. Turn over there like you're supposed to. Now, you can break these little things off. I normally don't. But if you did, it'd look like this. Okay, there it is. Now, there's, just like any other lure, there's several ways to fish this lure. I fish it slow. Now, when the water's hot and I use it in the summer, and I'm in, like I say, I'm always in less than 15 foot or less of water. I'll snatch it. When the water's hot, I'll let it hit the bottom and set about 5 seconds. Then I'll snatch it. And when you snatch it, it'll move a little closer. Let it set. So get it on the fall when it starts falling. You snatch it. Okay, about 2 or 3 foot off the bottom and let it just steadily go down. Okay. Now it's in hot water. Now normally what I'll do is I'll bounce it. Let it sit, bounce it. Maybe pull it 6, 8 inches, 12 inches off the bottom, just bounce it. If things is really slow, I'll just drag it. I'll drag it across the bottom. And just like that, I'll just drag it across the bottom 3 or 4 inches, let it set. 3 or 4 inches, let it set a few seconds. I always use braid with this right here. Always use braid. Braid is so sensitive, you could feel anything on the bottom with that braid. There's no stretch in it. That's a good size thick hook on these. That will sink this big old sharp hook. These are exceptionally sharp. Okay, it'll sink that hook like nobody's business. No stretch, except for in your rod tip. And like I said out before, I always use a medium heavy rod. And that's just me. You hear all kinds of things, different rods. You got to have this, you got to have that. No, you don't. You don't have to spend a fortune to go out and bass fish. All right, folks, but that's the money bait, man. There it is. After all these years, I can rest easy. I've exposed it, and it's easy to do. It's a great way to fish, and it will put you some big fish in the boat. Wherever you're fishing, I don't care wherever you're fishing, this will put the biggest fish in the lake in your boat. You throw that in his face, he will eat it. And he will hold on to it. And so, but anyway, folks, that's it. Now, the Imposter, like I said, I think this works just as well. The colors, let me put the colors together. Okay, there's the colors together. Very similar. They're different, but they're very similar. Let me get these up here out of the way. The lighting, I don't know, guys. Things look different on a computer than they do. Let me try this again. There you go. You can see the difference. Does that little subtle difference make a difference Folks, I can't tell you. I have caught. I really don't think so. Okay, we run out of this and started using this, and we caught just as many fish. However, this was the original money bait. This is what I'm sticking with. This is what I was waiting on. Okay, before I done this video, I made my order, and we had my address. Barlow's Tackle. It's all the way in Texas. Took me about 4 or 5 days to get this. It included the weekend. They get on it right now. I think it's a minimum $15 order, but these are relatively cheap, like less than $3 for a bag of. You get this little package, okay. You'll get these are 10 in a pack. How many strands per each one? Oh gosh, I forget how many strands. Well, one, two. It's wasting a lot of time. Several strands per piece. Okay, and anyhow, let me show you how to do this real quick because I want to wrap this up. And like I say, this here is this is the money bait, and you see them real good. How many times I'm gonna do this? One more time. This one's the money bait, and that's the imposter. All right, folks. Let me put that aside. Now I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. Before we get started, let me find my scissors. Before we get started, I'm gonna take this weed guard right here, and I'm gonna trim that down. Okay. And I start from back here. This is gonna make a big mess, but I'm gonna show you. I want to show you how to do it. Okay. Just kind of keep it natural as you can as they put it in there. The best way to do this. Okay. Man, I need to hold on, folks. Bear with me. Let me raise this up. I need to do this over my trash can, really. Okay. Just I cut from the back to the front, and I keep it. I don't cut straight across. I don't cut straight across it. I kind of cut it on an angle upwards a little bit. Hold it on my trash bucket. These things fly everywhere. Now, it's still a little high for me. Okay, I'm going to cut that down a little bit more. Cut it on an angle, folks. Always. There we go. All right, where am I at? You see how that's on an angle? Hold it up against my shirt. You can see it. Now, you can cut it a little shorter, but then I push it down like that a little bit, put it up against the hook. Okay, and it'll pretty much stay right there. But that's how I do the weed guard. Now, you can buy this stuff or you can make your own. Okay, you get them right there. These are little collars that go around it. Now these will rot after a while. They're made out of live rubber. Got my ink pen. Now I made this. Pull this apart. Okay, put your skirt up in. I'll show you how to do that. Now, take your ink pen. I just wet it a little bit. I just stick it in my mouth and wet it. Build up my immune system. You shouldn't do that. I'm not a germaphobe. I don't go around licking everything, but I'm not a germaphobe. Okay, see how that's on there? That's your little rubber piece. Now, when you put this on your skirts and you get it on your jig, you can also take some braided line and wrap around your jig exactly where this is at and tie it. Now these will last you. These will last you. You keep your bait, your jigs, they're in and out of the heat all the time. This will eventually break down and decay and break off. But 2 or 3 years, that's good for that. Now, pull your tip out. Now you can buy these, but they don't look like an ink pen. Okay, but I use the ink pen. Why spend the money if I don't have to? Now I got a wire, just a little old thin wire with a hook on the end of it. I'm a terrible photographer. You just run that through there like that. Now, I always put my brown on the inside or the outside. It really don't matter. I'm sorry, in the middle. What am I talking about? My glitter. Where's my glitter? Okay, my green, my red sparkle pumpkin. Oh boy. It don't matter whether it's first or last. Just get it about even in the middle. Put it on that little hook. Okay. Take your brown pepper, put it in the middle. I always put it in the middle. All right. You got your green glitter and you got your brown pepper. Then take your green pumpkin. Okay. Same thing. Put it up right there. There's what you got. Okay. Now pull them down like this. Pull them down like that. Fold them over. See the little hook? I wet that. Shouldn't put them in your mouth. Build my immune system. Slide this down on there. Now you got to be careful when you're pulling that up in there. Be careful because you don't want to pull through. You don't want to pull through that. If you do, take it out and put it in this end. But that's why you want to make that wet so it'll slide through there a little bit. I don't use oil because that crap get everywhere. Okay, when you got it there, right there. So, okay, pull it down. Pull it even in there. Okay. It's even with that. Now you just take your thumbnail, just roll that down. Bingo, there you go. There it is. Them will be kind of even. They'll be pretty even. All right, then what you want to do, go one at a time. Trim your tab ends off. Okay, trim it off. Now make sure these are pulled apart, because sometimes they'll stick together. Just do that. Okay, do this on all of them. Cut your tab ends off of there. Now stay as close to the tab. Stay as close to the tab as you can, because you don't want to cut no length off of these yet. Okay. Cut tabs off both sides. Cut tabs off both sides. Stay close to the tab so you still have your length. Make sure they're all apart. All right. Make sure they're all apart. Now, Okay, if you got one side that's longer than the other side, take your long side and put on your jig first. Okay, see, them's not real even. This side is longer than this side. Take the long side, put it on first. Now, separate them. Get down here. Try to get your skirts pretty even. Find your center spot. Find the center spot where they go through your collar. Now, it don't have to be perfect, okay? But get as close as you can. Hold that weed guard down. Find your center with a hook point. Watch your fingers. Push it down on there. Now, once again, you want to wet this. I just put it in my mouth. Build my immune system up. Slide it up there on there. Get everything out of the way. Push it. Now, that collar will roll over the big part. Keep pushing and allow it to roll. Just roll it right over there. And it will. It'll take some work. It'll take a little work. Get it up on there. Ouch. You're going to get stuck a time or two. Just work it back and forth like this. And it'll roll right up on there. See, let me show you. See? I'll show you on this how these is made. Hang on it. Okay, see this? What you're doing is rolling it over this hump right here. Right there. Rolling it over that hump. And when you twist it and push, it will roll over it, okay? And that'll keep your little bait on there, your trailer. These are well-made jigs, man. I really love them. And the eye is crossways on them like football. I always use a football jig when I'm doing this, but I got other jigs I do use. Okay, now that's up on there real good, see? It's over that collar, that hump there. Now, but you're not done. Now, if it's real, if you got a whole lot of static, you can have a bowl of water, a bowl with some water in it. You can dip these in the water and it'll take the static out of them. But today's pretty nice. Now, I never trim this skirt up to the hook. Okay, I leave about 1/4 of an inch hanging down on my skirt. Now, some people do, and some don't. But kind of, you don't pull on it real tight, just flatten it out. Okay, just flatten it out. That's all you gotta do. All right, take your scissors. I'm gonna make a mess here, but I'm gonna do it like this. Voila. And if it ain't close enough for you, getting into my microphone. Then if it's not close enough for you, just do it again. Okay. Right there's my hook. Just here, let's see. See there's my hook and there's my skirt. Okay. And then when you put your trailer on there, you got that right there. That's what you got right there. But you don't want to interfere with this, with the claws of your bait. But that's going it. I had somebody that's filmed for me, but that's what you got right there. And folks, right there. There's the money bait without the trailer on it, and the money bait with the trailer on it right there. That's it. Folks, if there's anything, you buy these by the 100, sell them by the packs of 100, couple bucks. It's very inexpensive. These are, you get 4 jigs for $4 and something like that. But folks, if you want to do this, and I've got all kinds of colors. Now we'll go through these when I go through my other tackle box. I got a ton of this stuff. Just like any other fisherman, you got all that stuff and you never use it. And I want to go out in the garage, my next video, and go through my crankbaits. And I'll show you the wide array of skirt material that I have. The other kind of jigs I use a swim jig every once in a while. You see me make them one lures, the chigger crawl. Now, these are chigger crawls made by Berkeley. They come in different sizes, different shapes, but I use the power baits. These are power baits. So, folks, there's the money baits. All right, I love you. God bless you. I don't think I've left anything out. You know, I think I've covered what I wanted to do. Now I'm satisfied. The pressure's off. After all these years, folks, I have revealed the money bait and the imposter. But beauty of this, folks, is when this ain't working, find you something else that will work. If you like to fish with jigs, go to fishingskirts.com. Now these jig heads, they got all kinds of jig heads, man. I mean, go through their stuff and just look at them. I'm impressed with both of these places. I say Barlow's tackle.com, fishingskirts.com. This is where I get my jigs. But check them out. You'll be impressed, I think, with all the stuff that you find. But come up with your own jig. If you're a jig fisherman, go on there and get you some stuff and create your own lure. Create your own idea. Keep your mind open, folks. That's one thing that I always trying to provoke thought. Okay, because like Les Skimo says, through trial and error comes great things. Okay, folks, I love you. God bless you. And fill the churches in America on Sunday mornings and Sunday evenings, whichever time you can go. God bless America. Les Skimo, thank you. I'm out.